It is just an extremely pleasant night, a great opportunity right here, a full house. Proud to have all of you here. Proud ourselves to be here. I'm Jim Richards from Bowling Green, Kentucky, National Marketing Director and former crazy old basketball coach. We're here to introduce Dr. Jay Ross tonight, who's going to be our presenter. Dr. Ross is a urologist. He's from Owensboro, Kentucky. He is probably, without a doubt, in my mind, the best urologist in the state. He certainly is the busiest urologist in the state. His practice is such that he works and sees patients on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. On Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning, he does surgeries. And in between times, he does provision. So let it be known that you can do provision on a few hours a week, and I think he's going to show us about that. He is a vice president in this company. He is very, very close to becoming a presidential director and will be there very shortly because he's made up his mind. That's what he's going to do. And once old Dr. J makes up his mind, that's the way it's going to be. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jay Ross from Owensboro, Kentucky. Dr. J.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you all very much. And watch, I turned it on. Watch how tall I get. Okay. Well, you got to do what you got to do, Teresa, you know. And we're going to have a fun night tonight. And I first want to thank all of you guests for being here because that's very kind of you. Somebody thought enough of you to ask you to come and see what we're excited about. And boy, we are excited about this. I started doing surgery this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I finally walked out of surgery at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Back to back to back to back to back to back. I have not had a thing to eat today, and I sure am hungry. Doesn't matter. We'll eat later. But that's what I do, and I decided to do this last September, Lynette and I together, and we've done it rather consistently for the last few months, and it's paid off handsomely. Not only for us, but before we actually get to see what we're all so excited about, I'm going to bring some folks up here in front. And I just want to share some names with you and some positions, and I want you to see whom else are doing this. I want you to see the caliber of these people. I want you to hear a little bit, and after a little bit later, you're going to actually hear from a couple of them, okay? But I want you all to just see this. This is not exactly chopped liver, folks. This is pretty good stuff, okay? So I better have my wife, Lynette Ross, come up here first. Because if she didn't take care, get up here, if she didn't take care of our family, our little 14-year-old daughter, and allow me to jump all over the country, I couldn't be doing this, but she's allowed that. And so you got to, I should make her stand down there so I'd be taller. Don't worry about that. Hey, that's all right. We'll have you here. Now the next person, two people that I want to come up here, bring up here, are two people that have done this absolutely the best of anybody in this company. See, we only have one presidential director. See, guys, I want to show you in a few moments how we're going to take you from manager right on up to the presidential directors, okay? We only have one. And they graciously heard that we were going to have a meeting here tonight. And Wes called me and he said, hey, Doc, you think I could come up there and be with you? I said, where are you? Please be here. Wes Benson and Heather Benson are presidential directors of Provision RX. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for them. Y'all come up here too. Now, I'm just going to kind of start going back through here a jiffy and just bringing some folks up sporadically. I want Rick King to come up here if he would. Rick has started with us, and Rick is inches away from being a vice presidential director, and that is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. I want to bring Coach Jim Richards back up here. Yeah, he said he's a coach. Hey, guys, this guy took Western Kentucky University to the NCAA Final Four. Woo! How you like that? How you like that? He also is a former athletic director for Western Kentucky University and has been tremendously successful. And is Annette here?
Yes, she is.
Annette's over to the Rusty Nail, and that's what happens. You know, they go to the Rusty Nail or once in a while. But and Annette supports Jim just as all of our wives and spouses support us. I got to have Scott Mills come up here. Scott Mills is from Alabama, and I got to tell you all this just a little bit. Annette, please come up front and be with your husband. He's scared. Scott, here's Annette. Come up here with Jim, and Scott, come up here. I got to tell you all this briefly, especially you guests. Think about this. I get a letter one day last July or August in the mail, and it had some little cards in it, and these cards looked like this. And all this letter said was, "Dear Doc, use these cards and let me know what you think. Love, Scott." Now, Scott may not know this, but I threw those cards away. I didn't know what those cards were. I mean, I looked at them, I thought, I don't know how to use those cards. I threw them away. And so about 2 weeks later, I get this telephone call from Scott Mills. And he said, Dr. J said, "What do you think about them cards?" Well, I hated to tell him I threw them away. I said, "You know, Scott, I don't know. I think I've misplaced those cards." And he said, "Really? You haven't used them?" I said, No. He said, and then he told me, he said, "You might be missing the biggest opportunity of your life." He said, "You need to understand about those cards. They're free. We give them away. People save money on them, and you can make money on them." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yep." I said, "Scott, I'm busy. I do surgery 80 hours a week. We have other businesses. We're one of the principals in the Thrifty Nickel. That's the world's largest free one-ounce paper. We have 3 other businesses. Ken and I have a business at ISO back there. Kenny's standing up there on the wall back there. He runs this thing for us. So you swipe a credit card somewhere, we get paid. So another business, and on and on." I said, "Scott, I'm busy, honey. I'm not sure I need to." He said, "You must look at this." He and 2 other fellows, Donnie Dortch, came up here on Sunday, all the way to Owensboro. And they showed Wayne Lewis, he'll be up here momentarily, and me this opportunity. Come on up, Wayne. And Wayne is an NMD. Wayne is inches away from being a vice president in this organization. So, and another thing Wayne does is he fixes lights. And so he's going to try to fix the light for us here. And if he does, fine. Hey, look at that. See, he's an engineer. He runs a big corporation that builds things, and he knows how to fix, and he knows how to screw in light bulbs. Come up here, Wayne. Stand right here. My right-hand man, Wayne Lewis. Now, and so we looked at this, and we decided that maybe this would be an okay thing to do. So we started. Had Scott Mills not sent me those cards, I'm not sure I would be standing here today. And I would have missed probably the greatest opportunity of creating a new income stream for our family and helping a lot of you guys be able to do the same thing. Awesome little deal. I almost threw it away. Nevertheless, that's the end of that story. And you better be happy because I've given you almost 1,400 people in your downline. Okay.
I appreciate it.
I figured you did.
I had a plan on the 3 days. I was going to call you in 3 days, but it took me 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, it took him 2 weeks or whatever else. Now then, and I've already talked about Kenny back there in the back. Bless his heart, he runs this great company for us. And Kenny, I put him in this thing right as soon as I got in it. He's been so covered up with his other business. He hadn't done much with this except the last 2 or 3 weeks. And now he and our other people have knocked it out of the ballpark. Guess what? He just now put in Reba McEntire's fiddle player. I kind of like that. Okay. Well, Ronnie McDowell is in this thing with us. Donnie Dortch has put Ronnie in this thing, and that's great. Jackson Brumley's sitting back there. He's one of the great composers of this part of the world. His father wrote over 800 songs. You'd know every one of them if we tried to sing them. And on and on. So there they are. We're talking to Lee Greenwood as of today, and T.G. Shepard will be here next Thursday night. Guys, we got something exciting going on. Now, I'm going to let all these folks go back and try to find a seat. At the end of this thing, I'm going to bring some other folks up here, and we're going to let them talk a little bit. But right now, I'm going to do the talking. So y'all go sit back down. Thank y'all for coming up here. And Heather, thank you so much for being here. God bless you guys.